You are looking live, presented by Manscaped. Do you or someone you know have a pair of cojones that won't get left alone? Use Manscaped Lawnmower Edition. Today's Bald Mountain Fantasy Football Roundtable is brought to you with special guests Dan, don't call him faggot, Gagliardi, and Eric, the true Mariah Goolsby. Here in the home of Eric himself, Illuminati present and accounted for, we're going to let Eric take it right away. Week 10, NFL, single box.
All right, moving on to Dan.
Dan's a great way to kick this off.
Discussing his matchup with you.
We got the big 4 versus 3 matchup, Rocked on a Harley 69er versus Brown versus the NFL. That's not 3 verses, it's just 2 verses. And today both teams have played pretty well. Next question.
Moving right on to the you hate to see it matchup, the 12 versus the 10. Eric, where do we have our two contestants at right now?
At time of recording, it's 77-60 with...
Those are projections. It's actually 46 to 46.
Yeah. Current projection.
Two teams under 5-0.
With O. Billy holding the current projected lead. Update, 78.13 now.
78.1.
The numbers are moving.
It's good to see
And
Billy
that's, I
moving in
think,
a
all we need
positive
to say about
direction.
that matchup.
That's all
I think we
need
should
to
just
say.
move on immediately to...
What's our matchup of the week so far? What has stood out to you as far as the matchups go? I think we got one good one with Papa Jr., Priestcorn, and Topless Tapas.
Mr. Snowman himself.
The Snow, the man, the myth.
And also projected right now, 120 to 121.
We have a close matchup.
Junior almost done for the day. But Logan with Chris Carson and what else he got left?
Gallup.
Michael Gallup left to play.
So we're kind of just waiting to see how really Gallup performs tonight and then moving into the Monday night matchup. Now, I don't mean to pull a Caputo card here and go micromanage anybody, but is there anything that Logan could have done to put himself in maybe a better position moving into tonight's games?
Well, he could have not started Cleveland's terrible, terrible defense.
You hate to see it.
And you love to see him
to see
get
it.
chewed up by Josh Allen.
Now, we're watching a Dolphins team put everything on the line here against the Colts, but they're missing a key defensive part in Minka Fitzpatrick. Minka, who got traded to Pittsburgh, who got picked up by Topless Tapas, left 18 points of defense and special teams honors on the bench in favor of that Cleveland Browns led by Freddie Kitchens. No more Williams defense. Now, before we go headhunter,
is strong.
it's strong. I don't want to go headhunting.
I'm not sure there's much
or
leadership
anything.
there.
I don't want to go headhunting either, but there's another you hate to see it moment, and it comes right out of the Bracca Flacca playbook. We're talking Golden Tate, 2 hands for safety, 2 touchdowns for good luck, and 15 to 20 points range. Is that what we're looking at for Golden Tate to finish?
19.5.
19 and a half. Jeff, you hate to see it, but good for you.
Good
It's
thing
not
he's
going to
playing
hurt you.
Beast.
It's not going to hurt you. Another shout out to Beast. Fingers crossed, prayers for Beast. O.J. Howard. He's been on just about every team in the league this year. Good to see him finally snag a touchdown. Too bad it was on the bench. You hate to see it, Jeff.
Oh, speaking of hate to see, Christian McCaffrey with a fumble.
C-Mac.
Recovered by the offense.
White Jesus.
White Jesus.
Today's been basically a double box, triple box scenario. We're seeing a lot of turnovers. We're seeing a lot of defensive points. I think the defense of the day, it goes to Tyler Grossbeck and the pickup of the week, one of our final segments here this week.
Scoring 20 points a week on defense.
Yeah, who cares if you got the New England Patriots on bye? We're going to bring in the Ravens defense for a total of 25 points for the good. Tyler may have brought it all in a losing effort. Where are we at time of recording?
It's a 5-point game projection, but he's got a kicker left, and it'll be down to that for...
If Mark wins another bullshit game...
This video, it will end right there. So
Cut.
yeah. So we're going to cut at this point if Mark wins.
Take it out in editing.
Correct.
Fix it in post. There not any matchups?
Have we covered all the matchups?
I mean,
don't wanna leave anybody out.
should we talk about my matchup? Cat versus NFC North.
Speaking
Coming in hot with a new name.
Speaking of stuff you hate to see.
Yeah. You hate to see all of this roster and all of that roster.
Who's leading your team in points right now, just for this week alone?
This week
Who showed up?
my boy Josh Allen.
He showed up in a big way.
He's got big, thick, meaty legs, and he uses them.
There's no need to throw for touchdowns because they're only worth 4 points. Josh likes to take advantage and help his manager out by bringing in the 6 points. Speaking of quarterbacks who like to utilize that extra point fantasy football productivity, we're looking at Lamar Jackson. Now, we brought up a little bit Mark and how much we hate to see Mark be successful at all. I personally, if it wasn't for Jeff, Mark would be on my chopping block and within my crosshairs at all times. But
He may be the first team to get relegated mid-season.
relegated and still win. I think we need to incorporate a relegation where if you win the league but provide the least amount of points for, that creates like some sort of black hole that Mark can fall through.
Yeah, Brandon Barros has been itching to get into the league. He's been scratching and clawing and even trying to pull some sneaky behind the backstabbing to
Bailey,
lobby for removals of other players.
Bailey, if you're watching this, you can't trade yourself as a manager. We won't allow it.
You already allowed it with your father. Ron traded himself out of the league once, and that's the last time we allow it.
Well, Ron had to do that because there's only so much time you can get in on a Sunday for cigars. And when you are a fantasy football owner, you should cut back on the smoking. And that's why I incorporate edibles. And the reason why you haven't seen as much Bruno in this video, well, it has a lot to do with the fact that I drugged him. Similar to how I drugged my own relatives at Christmas and in special occasions when they least expect it. Dan and Eric.
I hear you brought us a clip.
We did bring a clip.
You came with a clip today.
I brought a clip along. What I'd like to get is a couple takeaways from each of our special guests in regards to that video. It was unexpected. They weren't prepared for it. And realistically speaking, I think they see me in a different light.
My takeaway is that the elderly are extremely vulnerable to impression, and
I took full advantage.
You took full advantage.
Yeah.
I've heard of Grandma got ran over by a reindeer, but Grandma got bulldozed by a gummy bear is something new.
Yes.
Oh boy.
Cut.
Okay, we're gonna cut and then re-go at that like it never happened. I've never heard Grandma got ran over. Grandma got bulldozed by a gummy bear and break.
All right, fix that in post.
We'll fix that in post. We'll bring it right around.
All right,
We have editing techniques.
Yeah, we lost our live feed. Oh no.
And for the one of you that's still around,
we have a Patreon set up. Please check it out. The name will be in the description.
Today's episode has been brought to you by Wix. Any other sponsors that we need to get in for today?
Well, yes, Wix, your site or your home for any bullshit blog where you want to rank people.
Speaking of
whatever
blogs,
order you want.
Was there a blog post we were supposed to read before we came?
There was some homework.
Did we have any takeaways for that?
They were wrong.
Wrong. Also, what I don't like about the posts is there's no sources.
No sources.
Provided. How do I know it's a credible source? Could just be fake news.
Where's the analytics?
There's no analytics. I feel like maybe Snowden
is this AWS doing these analytics that are supposedly in there? No, these are just
yeah, somebody call up Cambridge.
Analytica?
Yeah.
Or the college. Or both. We're both on the case.
Sure.
Encyclopedia Analytica. Is that something that we use?
Encyclopedia Dramatica?
Dramatica.
Martine
Grammatica.
Martine Dramatica.
Well,
Paul Bobolts, Small Claims Court. What do we know about it? And do you think Junior still holds?
This is our Legal Eagle segment.
Legal Eagle.
Shout out to our YouTuber Legal Eagle.
Brought to you by Barry Sanders and Goodman and Acker. What we're kind of looking for, though, in our Paul Bolt's Regal Legal Beagle Seagull, we're trying to get an idea of what it must have been like for Junior to have to take time out of his day to appease Paul. Junior didn't want to pay money to Paul for services rendered, but Junior also just took time out of his day to show up in court. From what we understand, the ruling was in Paul Bolt's favor, and but it's left a kind of a fracture in their relationship. Do you see the potential where we could get them in a room together and come do kind of an amends?
I don't see much potential to get Junior in a room ever, regardless of who else is in it.
Okay. Kind of like the
He's
draft.
a hard man to reach. Yeah,
It's hard to really get to eye level.
he lives on his own time.
That's fair.
Hot take.
And that won't be in the thing. Anything else we want to run through? Jack Doyle is a beast. It is not Ebron. Notice how Jack Doyle caught the ball there for the touchdown.
With his hands and not his body or face.
Or bricks. This isn't a SWAT team.
Any more segments?
I think we
Finished up?
basically, I think we
Alright.
covered it, yeah.
Okay.
I think that last few minutes is good, but if we want to bring anything else in, just...
Close with a shout out to our sponsor, Clorox, the official soft drink of Bald Mountain Fantasy.
Chug, chug, chug.
Buy your poppies.
Buy your poppies.